everybody and welcome to Hannah's Happy Space. My name is Hannah and you join me here in my happy space surrounded by crafty goodness. It's been a little while. Just having a look before I started filming. I'm just checking my book if you see me looking down. It says on YouTube that my last video was a month ago, but actually it's even longer than that. It was the 1st of October my last upload, so it's been quite a long time. Reasons behind not filming, I haven't really got any excuses, I'm afraid. We'll just put it down to life. You know, everybody's getting on with everything and sometimes podcasting isn't at the top of the list. However, I have been busy, so I have got things to show you. But before we get into all of that, let's have a quick introduction as to who I am in case there are some new people watching. And I have had some new subscribers since my last video, so thank you very much for joining me. You're very welcome here. Like I said, my name is Hannah and I'm here at home, which is a town called Oakhampton, which is in the southwest of England on the very edge of Dartmoor. If I look out of my kitchen window, the moors is right there. Now, let's do the very British thing of telling you what the weather is. It's pretty miserable here at the moment, dry but pretty grey and very chilly. We have definitely had our first frost of the year. It's been a couple of mornings when we've got up to go to school and we've had to sit and wait in the car for the windscreen to defrost before we could set off. And there is talks possibly of a little smattering of snow on the high grounds, so maybe there'll be a bit of the old white stuff on the moors at some time in the following week. Maybe there'll just be rain. If anybody knows anything about Devon, here, especially in Oakhampton on the edge of the moors, we get an awful lot of rain. However, let's move past the weather. That's just, you know, let you all know what's been going on. Let's talk about something slightly more interesting, shall we? So, like I said, yes, I'm Hannah. Here I am. I live with my sister Cara and my nephew Sebi, her son. Some of you will have met him previously on some other podcasts. Since I last spoke to you, Sebi has had a birthday, so he is now 8 years old. He had a very lovely day. Some of you left some very kind messages on Instagram for him. Thank you so much. He very much enjoys having messages and things to read on Instagram and YouTube, so thank you so much. Now, it has been a long time since I saw you, like I said, and I'm trying to rack my brains as to think of anything interesting we've been up to since I last saw you. And unfortunately, I don't think I can think of any. It's not very exciting, is it? Just the usual daily life, going to school, going to work, doing things at home. Nothing very exciting. However, hopefully the following month is going to be slightly more interesting. Obviously, we're getting up to December, Advent to begin, and a lot of people, if you watch podcasts, you'll know a lot of people join in with Vlogmas. We've just had Vlogtober, which I didn't do. However, we are going to be participating in Vlogmas this year. Sebi is super excited, and as soon as I mentioned the possibility of doing it, he said, yes, we have to do it. I don't know if he knows exactly what it is, but he has to do it. So we're going to be taking part in Vlogmas. We're not sure about the logistics of things yet. I don't know if we're going to be in a position to upload every day. So it might be every 2 or 3 days we do a slightly longer video of the things we're getting up to. So hopefully that will be something to look forward to. I know there's lots of people out there doing Vlogmas, and you know, there's only so much time to watch all these videos, isn't there? But hopefully you'll join us. We've got some plans over the Christmas period, Christmas holidays, those kind of things. So hopefully that'll be quite fun. So, anything else that I need to tell you? Don't think so. I think we've, you know, briefly said who I am, who I share my life with. I think that might be it. So shall we get down to all what you're here for, the crafting, the knitting and crochet, just checking on the table what I've got today. Just knitting and crochet, no sewing from me today. So let's get into it and see what I've got to show you. The first thing I've got to tell you about is a project that I was working on last time I saw you. I'd only just made a start on it, and if I just flick back through my book of notes here, yep, here we go, it's in there. And if you remember, I was working on a slightly unusual project, slightly larger than your normal crochet project, a unicorn, an almost life-size unicorn. Yes, I was in the process of just finishing off the shape of the head when I last spoke to you. Now, for those of you who might not have seen, or just a little recap, I was making a unicorn, crocheting a unicorn for the shop window. The shop where I work is the Woolly Beader, the wool shop in Oakhampton. Now, back in, I think it's the second week of October, about then, we had Carnival in Oakhampton, and some of the shops in the town take part in Carnival by dressing their windows. And the theme this year was animals. So we were, you know, just testing the boundaries of the theme, I think, by making a unicorn. Now, to make the unicorn, I was using a book called Animal Heads Crochet. I can't remember what the name of the book is called. I'll pop it down in the description, or hopefully up on the screen. There hopefully will be some editing going on during this video. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, if there isn't, just ignore what I've said about editing and carry on watching, and it'll be in the description box. Yeah, so I was using that pattern book to make the head, and the pattern was actually for a zebra's head. So there was some adapting to do for that. Obviously didn't need to be stripy. So I was just following that pattern and to make the head. Once I'd finished the head, I then had to go on and make the pattern up for the, you know, the neck, the body, the legs, everything else that goes with a unicorn, which I did. Those of you will know that if you watch, that I attend a knit club at my local yarn shop, which is where I work, Woolly Beader, and much to the amusement of the ladies at the knit group, I spent one morning sewing up large unicorn parts, quite vigorously stuffing large unicorn parts, and generally getting quite fed up with the large unicorn. He was tricky to try and get into position, not gonna lie. He had tubes in the legs. Our shop is next door to the local cinema, and very often they have their posters delivered in those great big packaging tubes, quite sturdy packaging tubes, and we take those parcels in for them. So in return for taking in their parcels, we asked for the tubes back, and they were used for the legs. We had old duvets and old cushions, old sofa cushions jammed into this unicorn. Thought we'd sewn him up fairly sturdy. He had quite wobbly legs, and as you can imagine, he was the size of maybe like a Shetland pony, so he was pretty hefty. With the body, and then adding on extra weight of the mane and the tail, which Laura, my boss at the Woolly Beader, she did with a latch hook like you'd use for rug making. She attached all the mane and the tail, so there was some weight behind it. He wasn't going to stand up alone. We spent Saturday morning, the morning of the carnival, looking quite bizarre in our front window, hoisting the unicorn into place. Sorry, someone I think has just knocked on the door. Okay. Yeah, where were we? Hoisting a large unicorn into place. Where else would we be? So yeah, we had to dress the window, get the unicorn into place, and there are photos to prove it. If you've watched Ruth from Ruth Loves to Knit, she very kindly shared a photo of the finished item. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to be able to put a picture of the unicorn in here. If you follow me over on Instagram, you'll have already seen it as well. I've had some lovely comments about it, so hopefully you will have a little look and like what you see. Also, the mind blank there was some judging of the windows, and unfortunately we didn't win a prize. Never mind, our unicorn is still there. We don't mind that we didn't win, and actually loads of people in town love the unicorn. We've got in the main window the large unicorn, and then over to one side we've got a big dragon, and down in another window we've got a giant lion. So lots of people stop and look, especially children. They love stopping to look. So it's really nice when I'm working, if I hear people go past and go, oh wow, look at that, look at the unicorn. And it's quite nice, people who do knit and crochet, or even if they don't, know that a lot of effort went into it. Lots of people say, wow, there must have been so much work to go into that, clever people making things like that. So, you know, it's brought about a lot of happiness to a lot of people. Still in the window, like I say, I'm not sure how long they're going to be in the window. For some time, I think, because I'm not sure where else he's going to go. So he will be incorporated into our Christmas window. So that was the first major finished item to tell you about. So we can move on to things that I can show you at home now, that are small enough to to bring home and let you see. Okay, so we shall start with an item that I am wearing. Now I'm going to try and get some, there we go, so we can see, this is the bit you all need to see. I will hopefully try and put some photos in. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen this picture. Might be a bit fed up with seeing this jumper. However, I absolutely love it. This is called I've got my wrong page of notes. Go back to where I was. This is, make sure I get it right, the Faraway Jumper. Now it's a crochet jumper. Just make sure my sleeves are, so you can see it's crocheted all the way round. I applied to test a crochet pattern for Claudine Powley, who is better known on Instagram as Iron Lamb. I'm sure if you're a crocheter and you crochet clothes, you'll have heard of her. She's got some brilliant patterns out. Sunday Fun Day cardigan, Granny Go Round jumper and cardigan. So lots of popular patterns out there from Claudine. So this one, like I say, I saw a post on Instagram, thought, oh, I'll give it a go, see if she'd be interested in me in testing her pattern, and she was, which was very kind of her to choose me. Thank you, Claudine. There was, however, a short deadline, but you know, if I can crochet a unicorn that quickly, I can crochet a jumper, surely. I think I probably had just over 2 weeks to make it. I did have to buy some yarn, never mind, to make it, so I did have to wait for that to come. It only took a day or two to get to me, and then I could make a start. So the pattern is now available to buy. You know, head over to Ravelry or head over to Iron Lamb's Instagram page and find all the links and things. So I should just tell you, obviously it's paid for pattern, so I won't go into too much detail about it, but I will tell you how I got on with the testing. So this, I haven't crocheted a jumper before. I've crocheted a cardigan before. I think that's the only crocheted garment that I've made before. This jumper is crocheted in the round. So brilliant, no seaming, which I love. So it just meant the only ends that needed sewing in were colour changes or adding in new balls of yarn. So it starts at the top and you get this really nice colourwork yoke. So we've got different colours here. Now this is the only bit that on the pattern with different colours. If you have a search on Instagram, I'm sure there's other places you can look, and put the hashtag Faraway Jumper in, you'll see all the people who tested the pattern in their jumpers. Some people added colour in the cuffs or further down the body. I just stuck with the pattern as it said this time. So yeah, like I say, you come down the yoke, a little bit further down, and like if you knit a jumper in the round, you know, then you split for the sleeves. So you split the sleeves, carry on down through the body, and then pick up for the sleeves. The whole body is like a granny stitch. So, oh yeah, like I've only got a vest top on underneath. It's really, really warm jumper. So you can see you wouldn't get away. Well, I personally wouldn't wear anything, wouldn't wear it with nothing underneath. Not for the fact you'd be a bit chilly. So yeah, as you can see, it's got crochet rib around the cuff, and it's like that at the bottom of the jumper as well. So I mean, I really focused on this project and didn't work on anything else much in between. So it really only took me maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 evenings, something like that. I am a quick crochet, especially when it comes to trebles and granny stripes, granny squares, that kind of thing. So it was quite intuitive for me to do. Yarn that I use, this is a double knit yarn, Stylecraft Special DK. The pattern called for a DK yarn. She had used Kepier's Colour Crafter, so it was something equivalent to that needed to use, and that Stylecraft was on the list of the possible alternative. So this is, like I say, Stylecraft Special DK. The main colour is French Navy. Then for the colour work, it's not coming up quite true to colour. Here, this looks a bit more red on the camera. This is bright pink, and actually it's really difficult to photograph. It kept blowing out on photos. Sometimes it looked luminous, sometimes it looked red, sometimes it looked really dark. It was quite a tricky one. But if you've watched a lot of my videos before, you'll know that I do like bright colours, especially neons. So I was gonna go for brights. So we've got bright pink, the green is apple, and the yellow is daffodil. Yeah, that's right, daffodil. This is quite a new colour. I've not had that one before. So obviously this is only a small amount of colour work, really. So it really only used tiny amounts. I think all of the colour work parts were under 20 grams. So really, I probably could have used stash yarn for those, but I wanted to make sure I had definite colours that worked together, and I had the right amounts, of course. And it means I've got lots left to do something else with. The main body, I added some length to the main body, actually. The pattern is fairly cropped jumper. When I'd got to the end of the pattern, as it suggested before you get onto the rib, I tried it on and it was very cropped on me. I'm 5'9", and I think the pattern that was for, you know, for Claudine, who'd made it for herself, she's 5'3", I think. So if I wanted a crop jumper, I probably could have added a couple of rows of length anyway. It would have been okay with you know, like a pinafore dress or tunic dress, something like that, but I knew I wanted to wear it with trousers, so I did add some considerable length, probably 10 rows or so before I went on to the rib. So I did use extra on the body, and I think I haven't got the notes exactly for the test here, I don't think. No, different book. So I think it was about 5 balls, not 5 whole balls, I don't think, somewhere around the 500 gram balls. So a really affordable jumper, actually. I know some people aren't a fan of acrylic yarns, each to their own, not a problem. I, however, don't mind at all, and especially as it was a test pattern and I didn't want to put out a huge amount of money towards it. If I made it again, I could do it in a more luxurious yarn, no problem at all. But I know Stylecraft washes well, and you know, I think it looks pretty good. So what's Stylecraft over here in the UK is around the £2.50 mark, something like that, probably. So if you think about it, if you know, and I didn't the big size because I'm a big girl. Fairly affordable jumper, I think, especially if you're new to crocheting garments, you want to give something a go. I'd really suggest, you know, go for this one. I don't think you'd have any problems at all. So I think I've sung its praises a fair amount there. I'm really happy with the jumper, really happy that I was chosen to test the pattern out. I really appreciated it. And actually, I think from it, I mean, the 2 photos that I've got of this on Instagram are some of my most liked photos I've posted for some time. They're well over, you know, sort of the hundreds. They haven't been on there that long. So, and I've noticed a fair amount of new followers over on Instagram, which might be after seeing this jumper shared around on Instagram. So thank you very much if you are an Instagram follower. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So there we go, the Faraway Jumper by Iron Lamb. Also, if you do like this, there's a matching hat that was out before the jumper. So just to let you know, that one is available as well. Okay, that is crochet. Let's move on to a little bit of knitting. The next item I've got, stretch across the table. Let's have a quick drink. So next one we've got is a knitted shawl. This is the Artist's Garden Blanket Shawl by Tif Neilan. This pattern I first came across from my friend Ruth. You'll hear me talking about Ruth a lot. Ruth from Ruth Loves to Knit, fellow podcaster. She lives not too far away. We go to the same knit club. She's a very dear friend. Hi, Ruth. So she enabled me to knit this. She enabled me further by providing most of the yarn that is used in it. She was very kind and gave me great big bag full of yarn scraps. I shouldn't call them scraps, they were all very beautiful, but you know, leftovers. So if you do have lots of minis, lots of leftovers, this is a brilliant stash buster. I've still got loads left, so I could quite easily make another one. And it was such a lovely pattern. I really enjoyed it. I really did whiz through it. I didn't really want to do anything else while I was working on it, so I'd really, you know, give it a go. The only thing I will say very briefly, it's an interesting way of knitting, not difficult. Ruth did explain it to me, and I think if you watch her podcast, you'll have seen that she's obviously done it, showed it on her podcast and tried to explain how to do it. You use 2 lots of yarn at the same time and you knit on circulars, not in the round, just for the length, and you knit. Every time I explain this to someone, they're like, huh? So you knit across, and instead of turning your work to knit again, you slide the stitches to the other end of your circular needle and knit in the same direction before you turn. It's in the pattern. I don't want to give too much away, obviously, because it's a paid for pattern. So, but because it's knitted in such a way and you hold 2 strands of 4-ply or fingering yarn together, it is a super squishy shawl. Sorry, I've probably confused you all completely and you're just thinking, just show us what you've made, Hannah. So here we go. It's a whopper. Obviously it's a blanket shawl. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it all in even if I stand up. So what I will do is start at this end. Now the colours are, there's lots of colour in this. They're showing up a little bit paler on the screen to what they actually are. Again, there's photos of this on Instagram. I'll try and put them on the screen as well. So we start at this end. I'll just show you from here so you can see the colours. Then I'll do a little bit closer up so you're able to see some of the texture. You can see there we've got a row of eyelets. So I've gone for rainbow. So we've gone through reds, through sort of orangey corals, onto yellows, through to greens, it getting wider, onto blues, through the blues, purples to pinks. Now, like I say, it's huge. Oh, so I can't fit it all in to show you. I did plan mine a bit with colours. I knew I wanted to do rainbow, so I sorted through my stash, picked out solid colours, and then some variegateds to go with it. So for example, this red, move my drink before that ends up all over the table. This red section here is a solid red yarn. It's looking quite pink on the screen. Solid red yarn, and then you can see there's like a rainbow yarn as well, so that's what I matched with that one, and basically just knit them till they ran out and then moved on to the next one. So that's the same with everything. There's so if we look on the green, you've got a solid green then with a variegated in amongst it. But you don't need to plan what you're going to put together necessarily. If you know you want it to be a certain colour, then obviously do so. If not, I think you'd get more, start again, Hannah. If not, you'd still end up with an absolutely beautiful shawl if you just had a bag full of minis, leftovers, and just picked them out at random. Because you want these colours to marl and mix together. There's that sort of continual sort of, you see that? Light shining through it. There we go. So each section is sort of split up by these eyelets. There we go. I'll pop it on quickly. I'm not going to keep it on because I'll get too warm. Like I say, it is a big shawl. It's so warm. I've worn it an awful lot actually. It's quickly becoming one of my very favourites. Like I say, super warm, super squishy, and it's very chilly here in Oakhampton, so this comes in handy a lot. I love it. Now, me and Ruth have got a little bit of a running joke with this one, because whilst I was knitting this, I was sharing it on Instagram, and Tif Neilan, the designer of my shawl, of this particular shawl, actually liked the photo and commented on it. And Ruth, said, "Oh, I've already made one," and she, didn't say anything about mine. And then once it was finished, I again posted some photos on Instagram, and Tif Neilan liked the photos, commented on them, and even shared them on her stories. I don't know how Ruth felt about that. I'm sure deep down she was pleased for me. Yeah, we'll leave it at that, Ruth, shall we? I love it when designers or yarn brands that you've used or things like or comment on your photos, because it gives you such a sense of satisfaction, I think. And you think, oh, I've put all this effort into what I've done, and to get some sort of appreciation or compliment from the person who's designed it, then it's quite a nice feeling, isn't it? You don't want to get big-headed about it, of course, but it's it's a nice feeling to get that sort of recognition, I suppose. Very nice. I have just bought another pattern actually from Tif Neilan. She had discount code on it for about a week, I think, once it was released, and it's called the Perennial Garden Shawl. Now, I saw the pattern, thought, oh, that looks lovely, got a little bit overexcited, saw the discount code, bought it. Now, it's not really a problem, but now looking at the pattern is actually knit using a sport weight yarn, which was a weight of yarn that we don't really get over here in the UK. Now, I think sport weight is in between a 4-ply and a double knit. I'm not 100% sure on that. Was it in between a double knit and an Aran? Let me know if you know, or have got any ideas about what sort of yarns to use. What I'm thinking is, because sport weight isn't something that I can get hold of very easily over here, I can get hold of double knit and I can get hold of 4-ply. Obviously I can get hold of Aran if it is that, but I think it's a lighter weight yarn than Aran. I also already have double knit and 4-ply in an undyed yarn at the moment at home, so I thought I'd dye my own yarn for this particular project. Yeah, so sorry, I thought that was going somewhere else, but it didn't, did it? So if you have any tips, ideas, anything basically to tell me which is better for a sport weight pattern, 4-ply, double knit, Aran, whichever it may be, please let me know in the comments, and then I can use that information ready for when I come to dye some yarn for that one. Well, that was a long-winded way of getting around that, wasn't it? I might need a drink now. Okay, so that is the Artist Garden Blanket Shawl from Tif Neilan. Right, let's move on to another project. I've got 2 little quick knitted projects to show you. I will start with this one. So I'll show you the yarn first, the leftover yarn, just under 50 grams. Like I said, I love bright colours and I love neons. That looks bright there, but it's actually a bit darker than that. I think because I've got, you can see just here to the side of me, my patio doors, there's quite a lot of light coming in. Don't know if I put it on that side and block out the light a bit. That's a little bit better as to the true colour. So this yarn, I'm annoyed with myself actually because I kept the ball band, I kept it all safe together in the bag, in the project bag, thinking I must keep that ball band because I'm going to want to show everybody on the podcast. It's gone. Don't know where it's gone. Disappeared. I'll probably find it once I finish filming. However, this yarn I definitely know is from Woolly Mama Yarns. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's a double knit yarn, been in my stash for quite some time. Cara, my sister, bought it for me one Christmas. Finally, it has been used. I can't remember the name of the colourway, I'm afraid. If I find out before this video goes up, I'll put it in the description. So I've used this yarn to make a pair of fingerless mitts. Now, to the keen-eyed amongst you, you'll probably think, well, they look slightly different. Obviously, the way the yarns come out is slightly different because that is the nature of hand-dyed yarn. You may notice that one is very slightly larger than the other. You can see it particularly on the rib, I will be honest. I knit this one at home, knit this one at Knit Group, didn't have the right size needles, or forgot that I had the other needles with me, one of the two, because ideally the rib should be done on a smaller needle. Forgot to do that. It's not a problem. They fit. And that's all that matters. So this is a pattern from TOFT. If I just pop one on. So this is just a plain, pretty standard fingerless mitt pattern. My mum gets a quarterly, what's more than a magazine, like a pattern booklet from TOFT, and this was in there, and she'd made a pair, and I thought to myself, oh, I've got some really nice hand-dyed double knit yarn at home I'm not sure what to do with. Ta-da! So I added a bit of length to the thumb. I have got quite big hands. So yeah, really simple, knit in the round, fingerless mitts. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about them. Nice and warm, just in time for the cold weather. So that is the next finished item. I'm probably going to make some more of these actually. Just because they were super simple, and as much as I'm not too worried about matching gloves and hats and things to my coats and things, sometimes neons aren't quite what you need, and sometimes you need more than one pair of gloves. So that's those finished. Another quick knit also that I have finished is a hat. a little while ago, I knit a hat for Sebi, my nephew, for school, or whenever he's out and about, with, he wanted a rainbow hat, which I had previously made him a rainbow hat. He thought he'd lost it, knit him a new one, the other hat turned up. However, he wears his rainbow hat a lot to school, and his teaching assistant said to him, "Oh, I love your hat. I'd really love a hat like that." And he said, "Oh, my Auntie Hannah made it for me." She said, "Oh, how lucky you are. And, you know, I'd really love a hat like that." So we have decided that for her Christmas present, she can have a hat. So one rainbow hat. So really simple, basic hat. This actually is a basic double knit hat pattern from Laura, my boss at the Woolly Beader. Wrote this one. Done on circular needles, just a basic rib and hat body, just knit, decrease, but the yarn is really what we're all here for the hat. It's come out really nicely. This is King Cole Riot double knit in rainbow. So it's exactly the same as Sebi's. Actually, I showed it to him yesterday. I said, "Look, Sebi, I finished Mrs. Ogborn's hat." And he said, "Oh, it's exactly the same as mine." Yeah, that was the point. So I said to him, "Oh, I finished the hat for Mrs. Ogborn, ready for Christmas." And his mum said to him, "Oh, we'll put that away for Christmas, shall we? Don't tell her. It'll be a surprise." And he said, "I've already told her." So not quite the surprise we thought. But never mind, I'm sure, well, I hope she'll like it. So that's another super quick make. I'll pop that one over there. Okay, that was all the knitting whips, apart from I have got another one, but I'm going to leave it till we go, not whips, sorry, these are finished projects. That's why I'm getting confused. I'm going to leave the other knitted project for when we move on to whips, because it's sort of in between. So I'll leave that for a minute, and I'll show you this shortly. However, crochet is what we're going to move on to next. Here we go. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen some of these. If you are on Instagram or Facebook and you're in any of the groups, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these all over the place. I am taking part this year in the Ricorumi Christmas Cal. Now that is a free crochet along run by Rico, using their Ricorumi double knit amigurumi yarns. Cotton yarns those are, which we stock at the Woolly Beader. So I've got a small supply of my own at home, but can also pick up some more if I need to. Like I said, free patterns, which when you see them, I think, wow, that, you know, some designers have, if you know, they've obviously worked really hard on all of these patterns, and you think to give them away for free is really kind of them, really great. So this is a weekly cal, patterns released every week, and I think it runs for 9 weeks, and I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we've got 3 more to go after this. So I think every Friday the pattern is released. Now they've all got let me just show you one of these. They've all got a stocking, so you make one of these every week. I've done my actually most of them, it's similar but different colours to what is on the cal, so I haven't done exactly what they said. I have done some red stockings, however I've done some different coloured stockings as well, so which you shall see in a moment. I'm going to make sure I've got my notes here, because each week is designed by a different designer, so I want to make sure I tell you who they're by. So let's start with week 1, which is this little one, and this is Sleepy Mouse and is by Crochet to Play. So take her out now. She's a little bit different to some of the others. She's got no legs. I assume because you pop her in a stocking, you don't need to see her legs. Just sort out her bow, and there she is. So I think on the pattern she's got a pink bow, possibly, I can't remember actually, but I've gone for green. No difference there. Now, I will mention this very briefly because she was sick of hearing it. My mum is also joining in with this crochet along. She is a looser crocheter than myself, and usually uses quite a smaller hook than I do. So these are all crocheted in double knit and have been crocheted. The stockings I've done on a 3.5, and the actual animals I've done on a three. Mum has done hers on 3s, 2.5s, but they still come out bigger than mine. And she's probably sat at home watching this, because I know she watches, thinking, oh, stop telling everybody that she's got a mouse like mine, and it is a lot bigger, and I am quite rude to her because she's mum and I can get away with it, that she has big mouse and I have little mouse. And it's the same for some of the others, especially when I come to the cat in a minute. She has big cat and I have little cat. So sorry mum, but I just, needed to let people know that everyone's got a different tension, everyone's will look slightly different. Even if you do the same colours, they're going to look different because they all come out different sizes for some reason. But that is the joy of crochet, and everybody's different. So there's the first one, Sleepy Mouse. Second one is Christmas Dog, and this is by, let me make sure I try and say this as best I can, Valenti Carlettini. I think, hopefully I've said that right. Sorry if I haven't. Here he is. This time I've gone for a green stocking. Now, like I said, most of this yarn I've already had in stash, but it is all Ricorumi. I say that, and I'm not 100% sure about this colour now I've said it. That could have been the Stylecraft one that I had in stash. However, the rest is. So let me take him out. He has got legs. Ta-da! And he's got a little tail. He's got his Christmas cape and little holly berries and leaves. This one, super cute. I really love this one. A little bit of embroidery on the face. There we go. Pop it back in. A little bit more to him, this one. Obviously, yes, he's got legs, but they're not sewn on legs. They're, you do one leg, do another leg and join in the round kind of thing. Bit more to the pattern than the other one, but as enjoyable. Pop him in there. So we've got Mouse and Dog. That's week 1 and week 2. Week 3 we move on to Ron the Reindeer, and that one is easy to say. That's by Cornflake Stew, and he's in a little dark blue stocking. Like the mouse, no legs. Just sort his ears out. So he's got a little bit of embroidery on his face. I went for different coloured antlers, but otherwise, there we go. Little arms were a little bit fiddly, and the antlers actually, just because they go down to such few stitches, but no, not a problem. There he is. So that's week 3, Ron the Reindeer. Pop him back in. In he goes. So we've got, gonna wish I hadn't done this when I get to 6. Mouse, Dog, Reindeer. Now, actually, once these are all done, they're going to go across my fireplace as Christmas decorations. So I haven't put the hangers on the stockings yet, just because I think on the pattern they go on the side here, and because there's quite a bit of weight in them, they do tilt quite a bit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to maybe put them on the backs, or I might even attach them to a long piece of ribbon or tape or something, so they're all together. Not sure yet. Okay, so that's week 1, 2, 3. Week 4 is the kitten, Merry Kitten. I won't say anything about the size of him. This time he's in this goldy yellow colour stocking. This is the Merry Kitten by the Little Hook, which Is that right? Little Hook? Or was it Little Aqua Girl? I think she's got a different name on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'll look it up and make sure it's written down. So pop him out of his stocking. Super cute. Little feet. Now, like I was saying about sizes, yes, my cat came out smaller than Mum's, but my bow came out bigger. I don't know. I'm sure I did it right. I might have, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I think it looks sweet because he's so little and his bow's so big. But and he's got his hat with pom-pom. Hat does come off. I've done a different colour bow in the pattern. This one had, this was the gold lame thread bow. And I've just added some whiskers, that's all. He's got his little, if I lift his pom-pom up, he's got a little tail. So that's the Mary Kitten. Pop him back in. He's a little bit harder to get in, this one. I think because the feet are on the front, he adds a bit of width to him. Let's try again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 all together. Okay, week number 5 is the fashionable polar bear. Very sweet. And this one is from Flow and Dot. Now, talking of sizes, once again, this one is Diddy. So he keeps falling out of his stocking when I leave him. But I grab hold of him so he doesn't slip out. He's in a red stocking this time. I take him out. Yeah, really teeny weeny. I've got quite big hands, but he's still, you know, I think at the moment he is my favourite. I think he's even cuter because he is so Diddy. But, you know, every time I've made one, they've been my favourite. So there we go. Here he is, a bit closer up. This pattern actually used safety eyes. I didn't have any of the right size, so I embroidered them. But I think I'm going to continue to embroider all the eyes because most of, all the ones previous to this had embroidered eyes. So I thought, well, they'll all be a bit similar then, rather than 1 or 2 having safety eyes. I think mine's got a slightly different colour scarf, and I've used the gold thread rather than the silver to run through there. But yeah, he's so cute, and he's got a little tail as well. So that is the fashionable polar bear from Flow and Dot. Should we try and hold them all up again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to really struggle with 6. Who knows how? I don't know what I'm going to do when it gets to 9. So that's those, and then the last one, well, not the last one, the most up-to-date pattern, which I have finished now, is, his hat's a bit big. I should have done the hat on a small hook, I think. Is Seal with Bobble from Ricorumi. And actually, I don't know, he might have already taken the lead as favourite over Polar Bear. He's got a really cute face. I think it's the little eyebrows that does it. Again, I've gone with embroidered eyes rather than safety eyes. Take him out of his, take his hat off and everything. Take him out of his stocking. He's got his flippers down there. And yeah, his hat comes off. Like I said, his hat is a little bit big, really. But never mind, it's on. I've done my hat different colour to that in the pattern. But again, it is still Ricorumi. So that is the most recent pattern. Okay, one more time. I shall try and pick them all up. I really shouldn't have started this because it's getting tricky. Cat, polar bear. Oh, see, he's escaping already. In you go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ta-da! So all 6 up to date, and that is the Ricorumi Christmas Cowl. All the patterns are still on there, so if you haven't done it and you want to join in already, go for it. It's already there. Like I said, all completely free. Oh, see, look, his hat's coming off. Come on, mate, sort it out. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Phew. Okay. Excuse me, itchy nose. Quick drink before we move on. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. Let's just, sorry guys, this is a bit of a long one. Obviously I haven't seen you for a while. We're near, what, we're on 50 minutes and we're still on projects. So to be honest, there isn't a huge amount that I'm working on that I can show you at the moment. So we're almost there. We've almost made it to the end. Okay, so yeah, this next project I'm going to show you is sort of in between a finished object and a whip, because all the knitting is done. What is left to do is sew in the ends. There's quite a few ends to sew in, and a jolly good blocking, because I know this one stretches out to be pretty big. Now, I started this project some time ago. If you've been watching my vlog podcasts from the beginning, you'll have seen, wasn't quite as far back as the beginning. Sorry, I'm just flicking back through my notes to see when I started it. Oh, here we go. It's on there. So I think as far back as episode 4. Oh, I'd started that, and we are on episode 11 today, so it's all a pretty long time ago. And then for some reason it got put in a bag and I didn't pick it up for a while. I am talking about my Slip Extravaganza shawl from Stephen West. Now, this was a make-along a year or 2 ago now. It's a little while ago. I didn't join in with it then. Obviously, it's not quite that old. It's not been hanging around that long. And I think I picked it up again because he's just recently done another knit-along, another make-along, which I can't remember the name of at the moment, but I'm sure if you're on social media, you'll have seen it everywhere. So I thought, oh, it's got my Slip Extravaganza somewhere. Dug it out. Hadn't put anything with it to say where I was, what I should be doing next, so had to work that out first. And picked it up again, like I said, got cracked on with it, finished it in not no time, because I think by the end of it, it was something like 940 stitches, something like that. And obviously, signature to a Stephen West shawl, it's got an I-cord bind off, which took me 3 evenings. So here it is. Again, a big shawl, even though it's not blocked, so you probably won't be able to see it all in this. Yeah, see, it's sort of in there. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, you'll know or might remember that I was using my own dyed yarns for this one. I dyed my yarns specially for this. So I'll show you some of the sections close up. Ooh. So I've got this sort of violety blue purple colour. Again, here come the brights and the neons. Pink and yellow. Probably see the other colour. There we go. See them better there. And orange. That's that section. On to the next. And then finished off with the chevrons. Now, I have finished sooner than the pattern. This is for the smaller version. I think for the largest version, you can do these repeats again. But this is plenty big enough, I felt. Yeah, so it's not really a finished object, but it's more than a whip. Do you think? Yeah, so all these ends that I actually are sort of half sewn in, if that makes sense. You see, you know, all these bits. I used on this, I think I picked it up on something else actually. Stephen West has a thing called the Stephen Weaven, which is a way of weaving your ends in when you change colours as you knit. So they're partially sort of knitted over, but I will just sort of pass them back and through a few times just to make sure they're extra secure. Then it can have a bath, stretch out on the blocking boards, and then try and find a space somewhere to take a photo of it. So, I mean, I love it. I love the colours, I love the patterns. When I first started doing this, I wasn't sure, I mean, it was a little while ago, I wasn't sure if it was something I'd be able to do. I'd done, what was the shawl called before that? Can't remember. There was another knit along that I did before, but I thought, well, I've done that one, so I'm going to give this one a go. Winter Lights shawl, does that ring a bell? I'm going to have a quick flick, because yeah, Winter Lights shawl, back there on in the first episode, I think that one popped up. So that again had a lot of these slip stitch techniques, so that's what made me think, right, I'm going to go back and do this one. So I'll show you once more because, like I say, I'm very pleased with it. Slip Stravaganza. So I have actually got some yarn left because I dyed, like I said, dyed the yarn for this, and I dyed 200 grams of the main colour. I haven't weighed this, but you know, there's a fair amount left there, probably something like 40 grams maybe. And similarly in the contrast colours, I dyed 100 grams of each of these yarns, and I've got all of those left as well. So there's plenty there to make another project, or to go in amongst other things. It is a 75% merino, 25% nylon blend, so they'll be brilliant for socks as well. So they will definitely get used. And that's all been housed in my lovely polka dot bag from Crafty Clegs from Jeanette. Thank you very much. Gifted this one to me. There we go. So that is the first of the sort of whips. The next, we'll go into proper whips now. So I've only got 2 to show you actually. Yep, 2. I am working on other things. Some of them are gifts and things that I can't show you, and I thought I have shown you a lot of finished projects, so keep the whips down a bit. And I will be starting other things, of course. So we shall start with a knitting whip, which is over here. And again, this is a project that has been enabled. I've been enabled by other podcasters. Jeanette from Crafty Clegs has done this shawl, and then I think Dawn from Dawn's Days saw Jeanette's and has also started one. So you know, I saw both of theirs and thought I'm gonna join in as well. This is the Close to You shawl from Justina Lukowska. Hopefully I'll be able to put a picture in to show you what it's meant to look like. I haven't done a huge amount. I shall start by showing you the yarn. Looks a bit darker there. Oh, that's better. So this is Country Mouse yarns, hand-dyed yarn from Country Mouse yarns, and the colourway is tie-dye. Show you their label. Oop, a bit squished. Yeah, Country Mouse yarns, and it's 100 grams hand-dyed yarn, 75% merino, 25% nylon, approximately 400 meters. And this yarn actually I won in an Instagram competition, so very nice little treat. You've probably seen it on here before. I think I showed you it when it came in. I am knitting this on some very boingy needles. This is the only problem with them. They boing about. These are Knit Pro Symphonies interchangeable needles, 4mm. And because this shawl isn't very big yet, the wire bounces around all over the place. There we go, got it. Phew. So this is what I've done so far. Not a huge amount. You can see enough to show you how the pattern's coming along. So really, this is actually a free pattern, really simple pattern. One of the little sparkly stitch markers, one I've made. Yeah, so not a huge amount done on that one. I made the mistake of taking this one to Knit Club the other day to do. And although it's a simple pattern, it does take a little bit more concentration than, you know, knitting around on a sock, which I normally do there. And had to take, I think I knitted one row 2 or 3 times, but never mind. So that's one that I'm just picking up every now and again in between Christmas projects, be they decorations, things for the house, or presents. I was talking to Jeanette from Crafty Clegs the other evening, and I think every time a new Christmas decoration comes up, crochet, probably usually crochet pattern, we're both being like, oh, another one. Oh, I want to do that one, even though I've got a box full of decorations to put out, and I've made however many other new decorations, but there's some really nice things out there. So, you know, Instagram and YouTube podcasts and things, you know, you can't look at them or watch them without picking 1 or 2 things to do, can you? So, speaking of which, the last thing to show you is a Christmas project. Just move that one out of the way. It's a crochet project, and it comes from this book, Amigurumi Christmas. This is by Sarah Jane Hicks, who actually is Flow and Dot, so the designer of the polar bear that I've already shown you. And I am currently making, should have found the page, just 1 second. Here she is. I'm making the angel. There she is. I'm doing this one in Ricorumi as well. So at the moment, she looks like this. She is a selection of body parts. So we've got a little head and her hair. So, I mean, you know, she's not looking at her best. 2 little teeny weeny hands. Whoops. Whoop. Oh dear. Tangles. We've got body, which has got the nice little bit of sparkly on. In little arms. A bit more sparkle. Sparkly halo. Oh! Nearly landed in my drink. There we go. So she is waiting to be, ooh, which way does that? Oh dear. This is waiting to obviously be stuffed, sewn together, and then she'll be ready when the Christmas decorations come out to go up on the mantelpiece or somewhere else in the house. This is Cara's book, actually. She is making some, oh, there they were. I think she's on her second one. She's been making some of these mince pies. Sebi's had a look through this book and pretty much thinks we should have all of them. But there are some really sweet patterns in here, and they're all fairly small, so they're quite quick patterns. I'm going to make these Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. Yeah, just double check. Yeah, so I have actually started these, but not enough to show you. I've pretty much just got a ball for the head. Yeah, let me see. Actually, there's a page where they got. Just talk amongst yourselves 1 moment. Here we go. The projects. You see those? So lots of different things in there. So making a few bits and pieces out of there. I'm sure, like I say, there'll be more Christmas crafting on the go. Got a few presents to make for people. Get the sewing machine out, make a few presents that way as well. And I'm sure I will also be, you know, casting on all sorts of things that I probably shouldn't be, that I haven't got time to do, but you know, what are you going to do? So that is it for whips, and that is everything. Normally at the end of a video I'll say to you, had some new things this month or however long it's been, and show you what I've had, but I've been very good. I have actually had 2 things arrive. However, they are advent calendars, so I can't show you those because they're, well, actually one is in a box and I've just got the other one out ready to string up. I've had a 24-day advent calendar from the Discrete Unicorn. You'll have heard me talking about Miriam's yarns before. I've had hers before. Beautiful yarns, and I think they're neons. It was a while ago that I ordered them. It was one of those ones you could pay a bit every month, so you know, really great way of doing it. So yeah, that's my 24-day advent calendar, and I've also bought 2 12-day advent calendars. I think the way I'm going to open those, because I was a bit confused, you know, which 12 days should I open them? The 12 days before Christmas, the 12 days after Christmas, when do I do this? But I have decided, because I've got 2, I'm going to open them alongside my 24 day. I'm going to open one from the 1st to the 12th of December, and then the next lot following up until the 24th. So the one that's arrived is from James. James Makes Things. Again, if you've watched my podcast, you'll know that I absolutely adore his yarns. Have had his mini kaleidoscope club for several months, and making a blanket with his yarns. That one's a 12 days of Kitschmas it's called, so I'm really looking forward to that one. And I've also treated myself to a 12-day advent from Rainbow Fusions, which hasn't arrived yet, so you know, will be something to look forward to, and that one will be being opened at some point during December as well. Now, if you want to see what's in those advent calendars, like I said earlier, will be taking part in Vlogmas. So every day we will be opening advent calendars. I'll be opening mine, Sebi will be opening his, and I think Cara's got one that Mum's put together for her. So everyone will have something exciting to open every day, hopefully. Like I said, Vlogmas will be definitely we'll definitely be doing Vlogmas, just depends how and when videos will be uploaded, so hopefully you'll join us for that. I know lots of other podcasters will be doing them, and I'll be following their progress as well. So okay, look, as per usual, I finished the podcast by scanning the table to make sure I have not forgotten anything, and I think, yeah, that is everything. So thank you so much for joining me. It's been a bit of a long one, sorry about that, but it has been a long time since I've spoken to you last, and sorry about that as well. Obviously it's not going to be too long till I see you again. It is the 20-something of November today. That's not very good, is it? Yes, but Vlogmas will soon be here, and you'll be seeing me there as well. So thank you so much. If you liked watching the video, if you enjoyed what you see, please like the video, leave me some comments. I love to interact with you all. If you really enjoyed what you saw, then please subscribe. It all helps, and you know, makes me smile when I get a subscriber, which is always good. So again, thanks so much for joining me in my ramble, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.